Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file. They posted it on Facebook a couple of days ago and I asked for it. And he wants to, I'm going to set his, let's see how big this thing is. Less than 9 inches. So we'll set our nudge factor on 10. And we're going to take this thing, and you can see it's a group of 4 objects. So we're going to go to Object, Group, and ungroup it. And then we're going to try to grab this hairline. And see, it's a broken line. That's pretty much a no-no. So let's move this to the other side and let's put this back. Now, this is going to be a cut line, but there are broken lines. So what I would do is take the Smart Fill tool, set on any color. Let's go with blue and fill that. Must have a leak. Yep, we got a leak somewhere. So what we can do now, there's the leak right there, probably. A lot of times when your lines cross, they don't seal up. We'll try it one more time. I'm going to take a rectangle, put around it, which he evidently draws. I'm going to change that real quick. I'm going to change your artistic to, I'm going to change it to a 1/2 point in red. And then I really didn't need to change that. I'm going to change this. I'm going to double click on your pen tool with nothing selected. And I'm going to put no fill. So now when we make a rectangle, it won't fill it in automatically. Now let's take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in, and we still got a leak. So what we can do now is let's move my rectangle out of the way for a second. Take this shape and select it all and go up to the shape tool. We can't even do that. Tell you what, let's group this back together. See if this will work. Take the shape tool. No, it's got to be ungrouped. So let's step back a step. So there's one of his problems. There's like 1 million nodes on this. That doesn't really matter with laser engraving. Let's see if we can't shift select everything. Can't even do that. Oh man, let's see where the leak is. So one way to find leaks is to take a 2-point line and just draw some lines through it, and then take your Smart Fill tool. So it's not leaking there, it's not leaking there, it's not leaking there, it's leaking here. So we know it's in that quadrant that it's leaking. A lot easier to find. There it is right there. So we can take this node and have it snap to that node. Now let's try the Smart Fill tool. We can get rid of these lines. And what the Smart Fill tool is going to do, it's going to make a new object. And voila, nudge it over. Left click, right click, make sure it's a hairline. I have to click off of it, and it is a hairline. So let's just delete this. So this is a good cut file. Now, on this item, I would, what I call vector engrave these lines. It'll save you a lot of time, but we don't need to engrave this part, and we don't need to engrave the ears because they're cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the virtual segment delete key and delete that and that and that. You could really do a lot more with that. So what I would do, and let's see how thick these lines are. See, they're 1 point. So I would change them to a hairline and then individually kind of check to make sure they are. Make sure everything's a hairline, and it looks like it is. Now, once again, there's some, like that has some broken line, and that's going to kind of hurt you a little bit because the vector is going to go and have a starting and stopping point between these two. Well, 3. So you could fix that by taking the Smart Fill tool and fill that in, nudge it over, fill that in, nudge it over, and then get rid of these lines. This may be further than he wants to go. But It'll make your laser cut faster because it's not going to be jumping around. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like when we take this and make it black. Make sure it's a hairline. Take away the fill and move it over. See, so we got that same exact look. Left click, right click, make sure it's a hairline. And you could do that, you know, more places to the presence. I would think that these lines are individual. They look pretty good. So what I would do now is group this together, Control G. And then I would put my bounding box, basically my cutting around it. So that's what it's going to look like. Now, I don't know how big his laser bit is. Let's say it's, well, it's not, well, I guess it could be 18 by 14. What I would do is put it in your laser, set your nudge factor on pretty high, and move this out of the way, okay? Then, let's say you're using 1/4 inch piece of plywood. Well, 1/8 inch piece of plywood to make a good cut. Run this job at 100 power at 50 speed on cutting it. You know, don't raster engrave it, vector engrave it. It'll do this a lot faster. This might take 5 minutes to raster engrave, and I guarantee it will cut this in less than 20 seconds. But it won't cut it, it's just going to mark it. Okay? Then take this and move it out of the way, and because the nudge that, and then cut this out. Because that's not going to cut anymore. You just cut this out, and these markings are going to be inside there, and it's going to mark, you know, like these. So it's going to show you that that's an ear, or an antler. And it's going to show you, now there's some double cut lines on top of the, and it's not perfect anyway. Let's make it perfect. One way we can make it perfect, well, I say that. Let me see what's out of balance. See, that red line is on the inside. So this might work. Let's just take this and try this. Take a rectangle tool, take your smart fill tool, fill that in, move that over, fill that in, move that back over, left click, right click. Now let's take away the hairline and bring in this hairline. And let's see if it's not better. See, now they're right on top of each other. So you're going to do a little bit of engraving that you don't have to, but it's going to be so fast that it won't really matter. And, you know, on parts of these, you could actually make your, your hairline a little, you could contour it out where it would go around that, and then you could engrave that. You know, if you want to, let's say that's the scenario you're going to do. Let's take this and make it all black and run this whole thing as a, 100 power at 50 speed, won't cut through the wood, okay? Then this is a carbon copy of that, but take it, and this is just a suggestion, take it, sorry about that, take it and take this silhouette or outline and go to effects and contour to the outside with rounded corners, let's say 0.1, and see what it looks like. See, that way you'll get a little, the engraving will kind of show through more. So let's go object now, break contour part, grab the center and move it out of the way, grab the black, and we've got a little bit of a bad spot right there. What you can do is take the virtual sigma delete key and delete that. You don't need any inside parts. And then of course make this red, and that's what it's going to look like. So your engraving will still show up, but you're going to have this contour around it. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.